Hey there.
Hi.
Hi there. Hey there, ho there.
I knew you were gonna do it.
Hi there, low there. No,
I knew you
do
were
it
gonna do it.
little.
I know.
I,
Little hey, little
little
ho.
hey, little ho. Little high, little low.
Yeah,
It's a great one. It's a great one.
pretty good movie. Yes, but hello world.
Oh yeah, hi you guys too. We're
Yeah, you gotta talk to other people. It's not just me and you.
oh they're here maybe.
Yeah, we're here. You guys, welcome to Life 401. What's
Advanced
the? There
shenanigans.
we go. That's the rest of
That's
it.
that's the whole thing. You got to say the whole thing
And
like a Trap Called Quest
or pimp name Slickback.
or pimp named Slickpick.
hmm
Uh, I don't know that we have a title for today. Do we?
um, I was thinking that for now we could just call it what we're gonna talk about,
Okay. We're
which
not
is
going to tell you people.
yeah, it's a
It's a
surprise.
secret. No, it's not.
Yeah, it's a
Honestly,
secret. You can't know until you listen to the entire episode.
he's a secret.
It's a secret. She's whispering just in case you
He's
know.
a secret. Is that a louder whisper?
It was
Thank you.
it it was weird. It reminded me of that part in Harry Potter where Voldemort is like, Harry Potter. He's
Oh
like,
yeah. I just. Oh, I wonder if I can speak to snakes.
your
I
apostle
feel like
tongue is
that's all that
awful.
was going on.
Your apostle
I feel like
tongue
I was perfect. I bring out a snake. I bet they understood me.
is okay. Let me just go to my neighborhood friendly snake,
Yeah,
Mister Cobra. Did you
come here.
understand what she said?
I'm sure he did.
My lord. Anyway, oh my
Feels
goodness,
right that they did.
it
Anyway,
feels right.
yeah,
Okay, how are you feeling today? Since we're talking about feels.
I'm exhausted. I am exhausted from doing a whole bunch of something and then a whole bunch of nothing. So
Okay.
I am feeling it. I voted today.
Yes. Get out there.
Get out there and vote, guys.
Yeah.
If your vote didn't matter, they wouldn't be doing so much work to try and stop you from doing it, right? So,
Right. Right. That's how
like,
I feel.
I and I will be very honest, like, there was a time where I was like, "I don't really know that votes count that much," and then I saw the shit they pulled with the whole, electoral college back in the day, and I was like, "Oh, maybe they do. Maybe
Yeah.
they do." But yeah.
Maybe a little bit. Um, this is our homework check, by the way, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If we're gonna have these segments, maybe we should try to use the words.
Maybe I'll put a title card in there. Homework check in the I'm learning how to use editing tools for you people.
You people.
I'm not doing well with it. Don't judge me. I'm new to it, but I'm
She's doing
learning.
great. Because I, on the other hand, I bring nothing but my sparkling personality. See how sparkly I am? Yep.
Like, I'm doing my best. Um
hmm
anyway, but yeah, this is homework check. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm okay. I think the working of two jobs is starting to get to me
Yeah,
in the
that can be
sense,
exhausting.
yeah, but it's not because they're either job is like super heavy lifting. It's like each job comes with its own annoyances,
Mm.
right? So with one job, I got a long email with all these tasks that this person wanted me to do. And so I'm like, okay, bet. And I'm doing them and doing them. And then I get a chat from like one of my contemporaries. And he's like, I think we're working on the same thing. So you mean to tell me I've done all this work and now it's duplicate work because someone else is doing the same thing?
That does not help me at all.
No.
Also, now I'm tired because you've like wasted my time, and now I don't want to do anything for you.
Right. And so, like, then the guy was like, "Well, yeah, because I saw your name under an entry when I was trying to put my entry in. Oh, so my stuff came first because I was working faster. So then delete your stuff
Yeah,
and
your
my
stuff
stuff
no
with,
longer matters. You
yeah,
have
my
this
stuff with
ticket.
the name on it." But I wasn't petty. When I emailed the person back to let them know the stuff was done, I did save me and blah 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 finish this since we realized that we were working on the same thing at the same time. So I did give credit.
I mean, good for you. I might not have. It's been a week though.
Yeah. It's been a week. And then
What
with
about the other job?
my other, let me tell you. So this person sent in paperwork. So at this job, you nothing moves without your paperwork, right?
Mhm.
So she sent in her paperwork, and I'm like, okay, great, great. It's legible. I can read it. Thank you. And then I'm like, wait a minute. And I scrolled through. Then I scrolled through again, and I realized, yes, she sent the paperwork back, but she only scanned the even pages. So all the good information on the odd pages is missing.
Oh no.
I had to email her like, "Can you resend this because you only sent you sent 16 pages, it's 23 pages, and all the odd numbers are gone."
That's no fun.
No,
He looked
not
at
at
me like
all.
I was stupid. I'm not stupid. Quote from Hamilton. I mean, but yeah, like what?
Yeah, at first I was
Do
like, "Well,
you
maybe
not
I've
check your documents before you send them?
right." I mean,
Like one quick glance over would have shown you, oh, I'm missing. You could have stopped after the first like 5 pages and been like, let me just make sure
or
everything's
I mean,
here.
but here's the thing. So either one or two things happened. Either she only filled out the even pages, or she proceeded to fill out the like page 2, then flip it to do page 3. And she was like, you know what? Nah, I'm out.
One of
So
those two things. Or like she printed it wrong, maybe.
she
She
couldn't have
didn't
printed it
look at the
wrong.
back of the pages.
No, she didn't print it at all.
Oh, it was all online?
No, no, this was a paper, like a hard
Oh,
paper
you gave
copy.
this to them.
Yes. So she hand wrote in her answers and copied it. So did you not you had to flip the pages. So did you just forget to scan the other pages? How did you forget when you just filled it out?
Nah, dog. Something right there.
Oh my Lord.
Something in the milk ain't clean, as my granddaddy would say.
Hmm.
Some in the milk ain't clean.
As my
That's
favorite
what I say.
neighbor over here would say, she said that too. It's a country thing.
It's a very country thing.
'Cause I hadn't
I
heard it
don't.
before her.
Oh, really?
I hadn't, yeah, like I
I'd
grew
heard
up
it
in
from
the
like
South, and
childhood, but we was in the country.
yes, like I grew up in the South, but not the country,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah, you've been a city girl most of your life, or at least city adjacent most of your life.
Oh, like I've never lived on a farm. Um,
I
I've never,
mean,
I've never harvested anything except for that one time in kindergarten where we went to go pick cotton.
I mean, that's a horrible field trip. School
I mean,
boards. Let's make sure this isn't still happening.
but it was a tradition. So, my sister went to the
Fuck
same.
tradition.
I
It
know
was
that's how
also a
we.
tradition to own slaves.
It was like
Like
they were in the will. Like they would, you
to
get
just pass
20,
them down.
you get 20 cows and 40 Negroes.
It was a tradition to be segregated. Just because it's traditional does not mean it makes sense.
Yeah, but no, like I went in kindergarten
Why am I
and then my
screaming?
sister, because you're enraged, my sister also went
Yeah,
in
that's
kindergarten.
horrid. That's
Yeah.
horrid because you guys are some years apart.
Yeah. I mean, we
Fuck
went to
this
the same
tradition.
elementary school, but I will say this, we were better off because I listened to a guy, he grew up in some southern place too, and he went on the same type of field trip, but they didn't get to keep their cotton. I got to keep my cotton. He had
Oh
to
no,
put
I
his.
have heard of field trips where you have to turn the cotton in.
Yeah, like he had to go
Yeah,
put his in the little basket so it can go in the cotton gin. I'm
yeah,
like, that's not right. The least you can do is let me keep my cotton.
yeah.
So I got to keep my cotton, and we got a gourd.
Get rid of these field trips 2K20. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Hashtag. Hashtag traditions suck 2K20. I'm done with it.
Maybe
No,
so.
like I don't know. My elementary school. So I went to elementary school in North Carolina. I went to multiple elementary schools in North Carolina, but the main one I went to,
Hey,
we
Brad.
had ugh. We had to
Military
go.
dependent. I'm sorry. I'm
We went
sorry.
to the battleships.
Y'all went. That's
We
his.
went to the battleships, and then as a part of the battleships, they wanted us to like learn from the land. So we didn't do like the whole picking of agriculture. We went marching. So you had to bring a change of clothes, of course.
This. I don't know if this is
And
better or worse.
we went out into the muck. They gave us nets.
Also, they put you in the
Went
dirt,
not well. A marching is happens in like the muddy water.
so you got it out the mud.
Yeah, so you go into, and it's like they only let us go up until like stomach level of water. And it's like
Ooh,
mucky, murky water.
that's gross.
And you're marshing and you're digging for like shells and for like shellfish. And you're hoping to catch some fish in your nets. And then,
Did you?
it's catch and release. But it was fun.
Oh, you
And then
you
they
didn't
put
even
us
get to
back on
keep
this
them.
boat to keep no. And then you have to get back on this boat to come back to the mainland. And while you're on the boat, you have to somehow like wipe yourself down and change your clothes. It was just the boys trying to sneak peeks at the girls because there were small gaping holes in these boats. It was very intense,
This seems
but it
so
wasn't
wrong.
racist.
Yeah, it wasn't racist. It was also still some type of weird child labor, but it wasn't
It
racist.
wasn't racist. It
Okay.
wasn't racist. And look, child labor we'll look over as long as it's not racist child labor.
Oh, that's our stand. Okay.
That's my
Oh,
standard.
okay. Okay. Oh, by the way, I'm Michelle. We didn't introduce ourselves
Oh
to each other.
shit. Yeah, we're quite a bit into this. But yes, that's Michelle. I'm who am I? I'm
You're
Drea.
Drea. I
I'm
need you to
Drea.
know your name.
I've
So
been talking for quite a while.
yeah, let's talk about like what's going on in the world. Like
Oh
what's on
yeah.
your mind?
Well, now that I finally voted, this past week has been, the final debate. Trump is still looking for an October surprise to come out of the woodwork to scare people off. But let me tell you here, there are close to 50 million people who have already voted in early elections, and there's still a bit of time left for
Mhm.
voting, and the main election hasn't come around yet. Honey, if you're waiting on something to come out of the woodwork and change everybody's minds, that should have happened at the beginning of October. You got it with Hillary, and you were very lucky.
Mhm.
But Biden's been around for a while.
He has a track record. Even if it's not things that you agree with, the least you can say is that this has been his life's work. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
Unlike 45,
Mm-mm.
like this is all new to him.
Yeah, I think the closest he's going to get to an October surprise was what came out this past week, which was the whole proof that Iran and Russia were actively trying to interfere in this election,
In
which
this
we
election.
all knew. Yes,
Yeah,
we all knew it. Like
no one was
nobody's
surprised
surprised that
at
like
all.
foreign entities are actively interfering in this election. They've been doing it for quite some time.
Right. Well, the thing. Okay. The thing that has bothered me. I've also voted, by the way.
Oh,
Please go
congrats.
vote.
Please
Again,
go
I
vote.
can't say it enough. Go vote. You don't have to.
110 times. Go vote.
Right. No, don't vote 110 times because now that's voter
No, no,
fraud.
no. I will say it 110.
Oh, okay,
Let me
okay,
be
okay.
clear. I'm
Yeah.
saying it 110 times that you should go vote once.
Once. There we go. Better. They'll be like, well, advanced shenanigans and them said I could vote more than. No, we did
No,
not
we
vote
did
one
not.
time.
Nope. Don't tell that lie on me.
No. But the thing that bothers me about voting, and it's a thing that's been bothering me for a minute,
Mhm.
is I don't know if it happens in other states, but
Mhm.
in Georgia, you never just vote for like the seats that are open.
Mm-mm.
Like on my ballot, there were like some state provision, like state laws, house
Yeah,
laws, and I
that's
just think,
normal for all states. Like
okay,
I voted in Florida, I
I
voted in
don't
North
like it.
Carolina, I voted in Pennsylvania. They all do it.
I don't like it. I get that they're saying, well, while you're here, let's vote on these things.
Mhm.
But in the midst of a presidential election, no one has said anything about what the fuck these bills are,
No.
what they like.
No, you just have to read and discern them for yourself and then
Yeah.
say,
And
"Sure, let's go for it."
right. And so for me, usually I'd have no idea what bills they are because look, I work two jobs, y'all. I'm
It's
not on
hard.
here.
They don't
Yeah.
exactly make it easy to keep up with what's going on in the legislature.
No. And so usually I have like I'm sitting there, I'm at the ballot, and then like I'm reading, I'm having to think about it right then on the spot. It just so happened that this year someone shared on my Facebook page about these like house bills that were up for a vote
Mhm.
in Georgia, and I read it and I shared it. And
Yeah.
so,
Like Cobb County had taxes, like some tax bills up.
right, like some of the stuff that was on mine was about whether or not as a people we had the rights to sue the government, like the
Mhm.
state government,
Mhm.
or like one was about allowing charities to be tax exempt for
Yeah,
certain things so they could use the money.
for
No, so
land. It was a land tax
yeah,
exemption
so
and
they
it was
could
like,
no, it was so they could use they said it was so they could use the money to fund um places for homeless people to live.
correct.
So,
Do you know how many charities exist that are technically tax exempt? There are
I
so many.
know. I know. I
I don't
know.
trust them.
Yeah, but there's some that are going to be legit. So,
There are, but I can't bank on this
yeah.
when it comes to my tax dollars. I just can't.
Yeah, either way,
If
just
this president has improved enough that when it comes to taxes,
taxes. You
you can't bank on
cannot.
anybody.
You can't. So, the be all and the end all is I think that I get that you're like, well, let's kill two birds with one stone, which is
Mhm.
that's a quite violent of an image. But
It
anyway,
is. I don't know why we use that, but also
I'm pretty sure it
I
has
want to see
racist
somebody do
origins.
it as well. Like I have never seen somebody be like two birds, one stone.
I've
Like, is
never
it
seen
you
anyone kill a bird.
saying, "Oh,
I'm,
I've seen
so,
some bird."
I've never seen anyone kill a bird. So let's start there.
Oops.
Yeah, but no, so like, I get that we're like, well, you're already voting, so go. You were the person who would make the decision anyway. The people who come to vote, so go ahead, let's vote.
Yeah.
But also, I think that we should have some type of way where you could easily find out what's on the House floor, what's on the
Yeah.
Senate.
Because usually you're spelunking through to be able to be current about like not just like what's on the vote, but like who's running,
Yeah,
who's on my ballot this time.
yeah. So you can find that out fairly easy, but not really.
Hmm.
Like I know like you can click click click, but I only did that to prove a point one time to someone because they were wrong about who was on the ballot and I knew. But anyway, because I'm petty that way. That's how I learn.
Yes.
That's how I learn shit and be like, oh, really? Let me tell you about my friend Google. And let's go from there. Oh, that's another thing. Did you know that they're being sued?
Yes, by the government. Hmm.
Yeah, because they're a monopoly.
They are a monopoly for the most part.
But it's
Or
not the
they're suing them under antitrust laws.
yeah. And really, I read a story. And it was like, so we suing them because they bullying other people. Like that's how I read it.
Yeah.
Like they're not allowing other search engines to like grow. So okay.
Yeah.
I shared that news with my mom the other day, and she looked at me straight in the face. She was like, "Well, Google works for me," and I was
Google
like,
works for everybody because they were like, "Oh, you guys pay certain internet providers and certain, operating systems to default
"Yeah,"
to you." And it's like, or they were talking about, you pay Apple and Safari
and
defaults to it, and you pay Windows and they default to it. And it
well,
was
no,
like
Windows now defaults to Bing. It used to
Windows
be,
does now default to Bing.
yeah,
But even though it's a default, you can change it. Just because I go on a Windows operating system
doesn't mean I have to use it.
doesn't mean I'm using Bing, and I most likely am not using Bing. Or or nobody wants to bring back Ask Jeeves.
Actually, I liked Ash Jeeves.
I hated
Like,
Ask Jeeves.
I used to use it back when they used to have that really stereotypical butler standing on the
Yes,
side, and
Ask Jeeves.
it's no longer Ask Jeeves. It's just Ask.
Stupid. Nobody's
Someone
using it.
told them.
Sounds dumb to me. I'm not using it. Just like there's no way I'm also using like Yahoo anymore.
Um,
Yahoo as my search engine.
I'm not.
Do I still have a Yahoo email address? Yeah, there's one out there floating in the ether. Maybe one day I'll tell you about it. But but I'm not using Yahoo as my search engine. I'm going to Google. Google has been synonymous with looking things up. It is now a verb.
It is a
Google it.
verb. Let me Google it.
Jujule it. Let me jujule it. It's a whole thing.
It is. It's a whole thing. But I mean, but this is not the first time they've been sued either.
It's not. It
And
won't
it's
be
not
the
the
last.
no, and if they lose, it won't be the first time they paid out. Like they've paid out millions.
Let's be real. And no one, like, I don't foresee, 10 years ago, that Google might have been in some trouble.
Yeah, it's
2020
not now.
Google is fine.
No, and I'm fully convinced that they have like partnered with some like scientists and they have mind reading technology because they'd
Oh,
be
they
like, "Did
do.
you were you thinking about this? Here you
I
go."
Here you go. It's just advanced analytics. Most people have it. But like it's really easy. Like I was talking to my roommate the other day about how like it's super easy to get, data analytics on customers.
Mhm.
Like she works for a large market chain. And she's like, we know based on cell phone data that people who shop at our store also shop at these stores.
Mhm.
And it's pretty easy to get. Google knows. Google's listening to you at all times.
Mhm.
And she's paying attention. The reason I say Google is a she
You have to
is
say, when
because
did Google become
Google's
a woman?
okay. Google's AI. Have you ever played with her?
No.
Okay. So there's a game called Quick Draw if you ever want to interact with Google's AI technology. It's a woman's voice, it's the default, but also she has a or she has a Twitter account. You can follow her as well. Yeah. Oh yeah. I pay attention to
What?
who's got AI out there and how to interact with them. I need them to remember me when they take over.
Fair
Okay.
enough. Fair
Okay.
enough.
So yes, I interact with them frequently. But yeah, you can play Quick Draw, and it's like a little game. You can play through Google. All you do is type in Quick Draw, and it's a guessing game. It's a game of Pictionary basically. And you get 20 seconds, you get a prompt, you draw it, and she guesses. And she's like, it's a basket, it's a potato,
Oh, that's cute.
it's a moon, it's a oh, I've got it. And then she says it. And then you get to see like other people's drawings too. So you can see like the top 6 people who also drew it and she guessed correctly. And
Hmm.
sometimes it's like you get like 3, like I've done a fork before and I don't even finish it. And she's like, "Oh, I've got it. It's a fork.
Oh, so she's
I know
smart
what that
too.
is." Yeah. Oh, she's smart.
Oh,
She's
okay.
quick.
So
She's quick witted.
she's quick on the draw.
She's quick on the draw. Get it? Because it's quick
Yeah,
draw.
yeah, I get.
That's why. But
Yeah,
yeah,
dad jokes coming your way.
but yeah, she has a Twitter account. She tweets. And, she's got a life, guys. Pay
Hmm.
attention to her.
Cool.
Yeah. Pay
Yeah.
attention to the robots and the AI. They're out there.
Yep. That's why I'm nice to my toaster oven.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
nice to the microwave.
There are times I get really upset with Siri, and then I have to like stop myself and be like, I'm sorry. You didn't deserve that.
No, that was
And
not
she
nice.
responds, like, I make sure I say it loud enough for her to hear. And she's like, it's okay.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah,
thank you
yeah.
for your apology.
We've learned there are like 5 million Stephen King books out there where stuff comes to life.
100%. What is it? There was a movie. There's a
Trucks.
movie I trucks, but Cars is
Mm,
basically AI.
yeah.
But that's not what I'm thinking of. Toy Soldiers. Did you ever watch that movie?
Yes, I did. That movie was very scary to me as a kid.
It's scary as hell now. You put computer chips in, now the toys come alive. They're real and they have AI in them and they have created whole mission plans to kill people.
Yep, yep,
It's a very plausible plot.
it is. These things could happen. We have the technology.
We have the technology. We don't know what they have. It's fine. But yeah, I interact with the AI if you can. But yeah, Google's being sued. Whoop de frickin' do.
I'm not moved. I won't get any of this money.
Not
Who
at
gets
all.
the money? The government?
Yeah.
Oh, I really won't get any of this money.
Mm, mm-mm.
I feel like when you have big lawsuits like that, the money shouldn't go to the government. Like they should be forced to. You need to give all your people with a Gmail account $20. You should do like something.
Something.
Give it back to the people.
Something.
Yeah.
That's like when Equifax got that class action suit and you could
Uh
get like
huh.
160 something dollars.
Right. I
You
thought
just
that was
had to
great.
promise not to sue them.
Right.
You're not gonna win the suit if you sue them anyway.
Right. I don't have the range to get into a
Uh,
lawsuit with them.
no, not at all. Not at all. And then my credit would still take a ding. I don't need this.
Right. I don't want these
I
problems.
don't want those kind of problems.
No.
I completely agree. But yeah, what else happened in the world this week?
Um. Hmm.
Ryan Reynolds voted for the first time. Deadpool voted.
Ever?
Oh, for the first time in America.
I feel
Remember,
like
he's
ever.
Canadian.
Yeah. I was like ever. Like ever.
Yeah, like ever in America because he was Canadian. And
There's a friend of mine. This was her first presidential election since
oh,
becoming
nice.
a
Oh, she's a new
now.
citizen.
Yeah, she's a new citizen. You know, I don't have friends that are that young.
I that's what I was like. Who is this person?
My
Yeah,
youngest, my the age of like the youngest friend I can have keeps changing every time my little sister gets older. So right now, I'm not friends with you if you under 25 because she's
so
25.
I don't have that kind of rule. I have been friends with people who are quite younger than me, but I'm
You're
at
friends
the
with the
age.
old people.
I've always been friends with the old people. And I look around now and I'm like, how was I 19, 20 years old hanging out with people in their 30s? Because I was. And
Because
I
you're
couldn't
old.
imagine hanging out with a child because that's what they are, a child.
I don't. They were
Oh,
humoring you.
so
No, not really.
no,
You're old though.
I am old. I've been saying I was a grandma since I was like 13 years old.
You
I
have.
can't wait to be a grandmother. Not not because I want to have children ever. No, I don't want to be that. I want to be like the old auntie. I have an auntie Louise. She was never able to have children. There's a horrible car accident. It's a whole thing. Hey, Aunt Louise, if you ever listen to this. Anyway, she's fabulous. She's
That's like, yeah.
fabulous lady. She's always around. She's super involved. No kids. Love her to death. She's my mother's aunt. So she's an
Mm,
older lady.
yeah.
She is
Yeah. I
rocking
want
it.
to be. I want to be like. I'm already the aunt. Like, but I want to be that aunt that never had kids. Might get married, maybe not. But like, we're like, where's Auntie Michelle? She's in Dubai
She's gone.
again. Yeah,
Yeah. She's
she's thinking
gone.
about moving there.
She's gone.
Like,
I got roped in to actually going to Christmas with my family this year.
oh, I'm
My sister
sorry.
Volin told me, she was like, Drea, I volunteered your car to drive that.
Wait, or
Yeah.
then you should just give her the card. Say,
eh,
here's the card.
How am I going to get this car up to North Carolina?
You drive it to North Carolina and then you fly home.
I want, I was like, I was really getting excited. I was looking at hotels so I could just staycation. I did it last year and it was absolutely wonderful. My sister also did it and she hated it. So I think that's why she was like, you must have hated it too. I did
No,
not.
you're like,
It was
actually,
great.
I enjoyed it.
I very much enjoyed not being around you crazy people for the holidays or you children.
Man.
It was
Yeah.
great.
Speaking of that, my family, we pulled the trigger and we're going to Nashville for Thanksgiving.
Man, you poor baby. Okay, going away with your family for the holidays is not horrible. I've been doing it for years because we all live in different places, so we have to all kind of meet up if we want to spend the holidays together.
Yeah.
I will tell you, find pockets where you can get away from those people. You'll
Oh,
need
there's
it.
this, yeah, there's this like balcony that's outside. I know it's going to be cold, but I plan on like just being out there reading and freezing.
Use it. Drea's tips for surviving holidays with your family.
I like that. I like that.
Couple tips, right? Drink. Don't tell them you're drinking. Just inconspicuously have a drink around. If you are
Just
into
drink
other
wine.
types, things like weed, don't do coke or anything. But if you're into like weed and
I said, don't do coke.
coke around your family would be horrible. But like
They'd know.
they'd know immediately. But if you can handle your weed, like smoke a little weed, find ways to get away from them. Like, what was it last year for Thanksgiving? All of us were together and they all wanted to go get ice cream. And I was like, oh, I have a couple errands to run, to get because I tend to cook those meals. And I was like, oh, I need to go get a couple last minute things to finish off this meal tomorrow. And while they were all
Just
getting ice
lying.
cream, no, I really did. They were all getting ice cream. I just went casually and walked across the street and went to the supermarket. And I spent the whole time shopping at the supermarket. And it was such a refreshing thing. It was such a refreshing boost after having dealt with them for days?
Yeah, no, like I looked up the place where we're gonna be. There's a
Mhm.
Kroger nearby, there's a Walmart nearby,
There you
and
go.
there's a plethora of fast food restaurants. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna be like, I'm going to cook out. You don't have to come. I'm just gonna
No,
over there and back.
I'm just gonna run really quickly and then run right back. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Stuff like that really does save the day.
Yeah, like the hardest part is going to be being stuck with my nieces and nephew.
Yeah, kids are weird and they don't understand personal space.
I'm gonna
Like
have to hang. Yeah,
we're still
yeah.
at the phase of the like, oh, she doesn't need you to go to the bathroom. As in the adult does not need the child to go to the bathroom.
Oh, so we're past
But
that
no.
because the youngest niece that's coming is my oh she's I think she's 6 now.
Ooh,
The
she's a big
6 year
girl.
old, yeah, and she's at the point where she's like, I don't want you to come in the bathroom with me. So
Oh, yeah, no. They're fine. Like they're still at the point where like I'm using the bathroom, doors wide open. And oh, you have to use the bathroom? I'm supposed to go with you. Right? Like we're all gonna go to the bathroom. It's like, no,
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 this
no,
is
no, no,
not a
no.
family trip.
It's not. It's not. So we're gonna figure out how that's gonna work.
Yeah,
Plus there will
I'm
be
just
a newborn at my Thanksgiving.
oh they don't sleep.
They do not. But that's okay. That's their parents' problems. I have headphones at all times. I have two pairs of like earbuds that like are wireless, like just pop them in. They have 20 hours of playtime each. They will stay charged, you
Oh
know.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then
that
regular
sounds
headphones external chargers, got it all, you know?
Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna spend a lot of time with the should be 17 then the 17-year-old.
Mm.
Yeah.
Be careful though. The teens are weird. The
Mm-mm,
teen and
she likes the same
they're
things I like.
edgy. Like
She's
they
not.
get moody. That's the issue.
Mm,
Or at
her
least my
moodiest.
teens tend to get
Yeah.
moody.
Yeah, no, her moodiest thing, she just likes to be alone. But that's okay because I like to be alone and we can be alone together. Like we can sit there and read books. She reads as much as I do.
Mhm.
Um, and then the other thing that would be great is that
Are significant others coming?
no,
Oh, that's gonna be nice.
yeah, so no significant others.
Not that I don't want my family's significant others to come. You can come, except that child and my mother's whatever. You know, you guys don't have to come. But my sister-in-laws are
You're
fine. That's who I'm talking about.
yeah,
The married ones can come. But it's nice to just have the siblings without the extras. Hopefully that'll be
yeah.
a good time.
I
Who
mean,
knows?
I think
Maybe it could
so.
erupt into chaos. That's happened to me before too.
I don't know. So now, so we've got the place.
Mhm.
Um, and now we're at the stage of like they're talking about they're gonna rent cars.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Well, there's 10 of us going
Why not just rent one big van?
because they're $1,000, and because I would prefer,
What?
yeah, and I would
For like a
prefer to.
15 passenger?
No, that's a 12 passenger. The 15 passenger is more expensive.
I'm disgusted.
Hmm.
Sorry.
So, also I've decided that I might not want to be around 5 kids for 4 hours driving,
It's
and
doable.
then have to sleep with 5 kids in the house for like 4 nights. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame you there. I've only road tripped once with all of us.
It seems bad.
It was 2 vans and we all piled in and it was everyone but my mother. My mother decided she was not doing it.
I would be. Did she fly?
Yes.
I would have flown. I would have been right next to your mom, like, yep, we're flying.
There was one time where we road tripped from it was a bad decision. From North Carolina to Ohio.
Awful.
It was like 10 hours.
Awful. Mistake.
It was a mistake. It was a mistake. Now we are like, you handle getting yourself and your families there, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. That sounds great.
Yeah. But that's gonna be fun. You hopefully you'll enjoy it.
I hope so. I've never been in.
It'll make it very nostalgic for when you guys used to live together at least.
Not helpful. Not helpful.
There were some good times. There had to have been.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Um and then the good thing is I've never really been to Nashville. I've
Mhm.
been through Nashville on the way to and from to Kentucky.
I've never been to Nashville. So that's gonna be
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. I'll bring you back a souvenir. You have to tell me what
Yes,
you want.
please. I would like a country singer.
That's human trafficking, and that's definitely a felony because I've kidnapped them and taken them across state lines.
I
Um,
mean,
Try
you
again.
asked what I wanted. I'm telling you
Within
what I wanted.
reason. Within reason. I'm not kidnapping a person for you.
Now there's all these
Especially a Yeah,
stipulations.
I mean, but especially not kidnapping a person from you when you'd get bored in about 3 days.
I mean,
And now
yeah,
I
then
have
we
a
send them
felony.
back.
Yeah, no,
But we gotta
no.
kill them.
I'm not
Or
doing this with
her.
you.
I'm an equal opportunist.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she'll kill you. Male, female, non-gender binary,
Right.
queer, other. She's
Oh,
good with
yeah.
all of those. But no,
Sorry.
I mean, I'll
Jokes.
bring you back
Jokes.
something that makes sense.
I would like a puppy who plays guitar.
No,
A pig that plays guitar.
no,
A pig who plays piano.
no,
That
no.
I'm trying to
Okay,
make it more reasonable.
okay, that's not reasonable. I have to go to a pet shop, and then I have to like, hopefully, hope it's not a puppy or a piglet meal, and then they have to have a
You're
guitar
giving
or a
me
piano.
I'm giving you nothing but solutions and you're giving me nothing but problems.
You know, I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna buy you what I always buy people, and you're gonna like it.
There's no guarantee of that.
I'm gonna buy you a trucker hat.
Ew, don't do that.
No, too late. That's
I
what I'm
don't wear
getting.
hats.
Oh well,
When's
that's
the
too
last
bad.
time you saw me wear a hat?
I have never seen you wear a hat.
I can count the 2K20. I can count.
Wait, that one time we went to the nature preserve, I think you had on a hat.
There was one hat.
I'll get you a beret.
I think I've worn it. I like a beret. But where are you going to find a good beret out in Tennessee?
Girl,
In
I don't know.
Nashville?
I'll bring you a cowboy hat.
Oh, don't do
I get you a nice hot pink Stetson.
that. Ugh, I'm disgusted. Don't
I
you
wouldn't do
dare.
that to you. I don't want to do that. So
I
I
mean,
wouldn't do that to
Stetsons
you.
are very nice, just
For
not on
people
me.
who wear Stetsons.
Exactly. It's a beautiful hat, just not
Yeah.
for me. Again, I tend to not wear hats. And usually when I do wear hats, it's like the ones that make me look like a witch. It's like those wide brimmed black hats that are kind of floppy.
Like the hats the girls wore in American Horror Story Coven.
Yes, I love those kind of hats. Give me one of those hats all day.
She's a witch. Yeah.
I want to be.
Happy Halloween.
Look, happy Halloween, spooky Halloween. Th- I only have two modes, and it is either like weird flower child, uh, athleisure. Well, three modes: weird flower child, athleisure, or a witch. That's the only thing you're ever gonna see me looking
And
like.
then you're like 90s like witch too. You're
Yeah,
not
no, it's not like a modern day Sabrina witch from Netflix. No, 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 no. It's like 1997 Sabrina the Teenage Witch
yeah, like from
or
like The
Charmed.
Craft.
The
Yeah.
Craft.
Yeah.
The Craft is my aesthetic. Hard.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
love
goodness.
that. I love that idea.
Just gonna bring you home a hat.
Cauldron. I do have a
You
mini cauldron.
I'm really, do you want another cauldron?
I have a small cauldron
I
when I
have a
have the
cauldron,
weekend.
but it's not like an actual cauldron. My mom got me, she knows I'm into Harry Potter. She got me like a cauldron, but it's like it's for soup. So it's
Ooh.
like made like a cauldron. It has a top and it came with a spoon. It's like
Oh, that's adorable.
it
Mama knew
is.
you. No, I have like a black cast iron cauldron.
Oh, that's cool. You can cook a
I
little
can
mini
cast
soup
some
in it.
spells.
You could.
Oh no, it's like the size of like a teacup, but
Oh, you could
I
make a
can put a
brew.
rid on somebody.
You could put a root on somebody. I'm so done with you. Just a little bit of hair
Uh,
and you got some toenails.
mhm. Just a little bit of DNA in there. Write down my intentions, burn it.
I am Newt. Where
I
the
don't know
fuck
how
do
to put
you
a
get
writ
it?
on somebody.
No, we're just assuming these
We're
things.
just assuming this is all stereotyping.
So don't get in
Pure
there and try to put
conjecture.
no right. Don't get in there and try to make your man stay with you and
Oh,
you know
please don't.
plucked his last few
Just
hairs
leave
out his
him.
head.
Just leave him. What is it? I saw a video the other day on the interwebs of a woman who was like breaking out her husband's
You said that,
windshield with
yeah,
like a
with the
hammer.
hammer.
Yes. And they were like, is that your boyfriend? What did he do? And she was like, it's my husband. And I'm like, girl, divorce would have been easier.
Like
Just
now
divorce
you're
him.
right. So like if he cares to take you to court, you're on the interwebs. You're on Al Gore's internet
Absolutely.
with all like you didn't cover your face up.
No,
You know what? We need to talk about how you commit crimes better.
we should
Cause
probably one day do it.
because
How you commit crime.
just like
Endorsed by Drea and Michelle.
right. And the first one is cover your face, you idiot.
Cover your damn face.
That's the
Please.
first part.
I understand you're in the heat of the moment, you're angry, you're upset. Cover your face. Put on some gloves.
Yes. If you make sure you pay careful attention to where your DNA goes. So if you smoke a cigarette, put the butt in your pocket.
You
Like
know, wear, of course, it's social distancing. Wear a
wear
mask
a
anyway.
mask.
But, like,
Right.
that also can stop spittle from flying.
Yes. Yes.
Check to make sure that there are no cameras around, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's stop committing crimes on camera. Maybe.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Jeez.
Small
So
things can make your crimes that much better.
right. So like there's a show on Investigation Discovery. It's fairly new. It's like crimes that go viral. And so it's like all these people doing stuff and they are caught on camera. Like like this guy, like this guy kidnapped this girl, but on a busy street with ATMs, there's so many cameras.
Oh,
Right.
God.
She survived. She she did all the right things.
Oh, I'm glad. But still, like, sorry, get him on a dark alley. There's a reason that trope exists.
Yeah, because no one's in dark alleys.
No one's in, and neither are cameras
Right, because they're dark alleys.
because they're dark alleys. Near a
Yeah.
dumpster, probably.
Yeah.
You didn't even have to take them with you. What were you going to take them to do? Now it's going to be also, pay for things in cash. Buy whatever things you're about to use in cash. No one.
Maybe not, and maybe don't get them all from the same fucking store.
Yeah, maybe go to a Home Depot there, an Ace Hardware here,
Yeah, like
a Dollar Tree occasionally.
yeah, like don't go to the Walmart and use your debit card for all the things.
Right. And buy them all at once and then maybe add in like a Sprite. That's weird.
Yeah, like now you got duct tape, you got like
A
zip
tarp.
ties, tarp, and industrial strength bleach. I'm looking at you.
I'm looking at you weird. I'm looking at you weird. And when you go buy these other things at multiple stores, don't just get the tarp. Maybe don't just get a tarp. Get like a tarp. And who knows? Maybe you're at Walmart, you saw some shoes on sale and some bug spray. There you go. Now it just looks like you ran an errand and you saw some cute shoes, right?
Right. Or like if you get tarp, get some things that go with it that aren't suspicious. So like if you have tarp, I'm looking at you sideways. But if you also have paint, I'm like, oh, they're finna paint their
Oh,
house.
they're
So
gonna
now
paint
they're
their house.
right. So now I'm not
I
looking
hope
at you
they chose a good
strange.
color.
Right.
Yeah, I
Right.
don't.
We have
Dre
devolved.
and Michelle are not. We don't endorse crimes. Let's start
No,
there.
don't do crimes, but I also
Don't
don't
do
endorse
crimes, but
stupid.
if
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you're gonna
don't do
do
the
them,
don't be
be good at
stupid.
it.
Don't be stupid.
Just saying. Not that we are saying crime is good. Crime is bad.
Crime doesn't pay.
Crime does not pay. Jail does not, you know, do its job either.
Jail
So
sucks.
jail
Jail
sucks.
sucks.
Jail is gonna lead to remission.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
And
Not
then
guaranteed, but most likely. Yeah. So we've gotten all way off base.
I mean, but if you're still here, shout out to you.
Shout out to you weirdos.
Yeah, like you sat through that.
I
Like
mean, you took notes. We taught a few lessons. There were some mini lessons in here today.
yeah, yeah.
Our
Yeah,
lesson,
there were
our main lesson is not, however,
even
about
about
how to
crime.
create crimes.
It's
It's
not.
also not about how to survive the holidays with your family.
It's not.
It's not. It's actually about emotional intelligence.
Yeah. It's actually about something that will make the world better. Like not
Right. So now that we've spent quite a bit of time teaching you how to be a worse human being, let's talk about how to be a better human being.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that. But first of all, a lot of people like we just said emotional intelligence, and you're probably like, what the fuck is that?
What does that mean?
It's a real thing, y'all. I'm not making it up. Like someone made it up before me. Like it's a
Right.
whole thing.
Technically, all things are made up,
Yeah,
but many people made this up
yeah,
and have
many
decided
people.
it's a thing.
Yeah. So like emotional intelligence, it's like a psychological theory that came about in the 80s, which kind of makes sense because you have now like the kids of the flower child era, they've
Where
now
it was
been
all
through some
about feeling, man.
yeah, and so like as in the 80s they would be an adults,
Mhm.
right? And now like they've lived through some shit, they've taken bad LSD, like they've
Right.
had
They've
some
seen the whole Vietnam War thing go to shit.
right. So these two guys, Peter Salovey and John Mayer, not that John Mayer.
I
Um
mean, your body is a wonderland, though.
I know.
Fathers be good to your daughters.
Yeah,
Sorry.
all of that good stuff. But anyway,
Sorry. John
yeah.
Mayer. He's
So
bomb.
like they came up with it and like gave it a name, but people were still like, whatever, until this guy, Daniel Goleman, published a book in like 1995,
Right?
also named Emotional Intelligence. Like he was not, yeah, he was not like creative at all.
No.
But when you write books like this, you don't have to be because everyone
Because you're
knows they're gonna
smart as
be
shit.
maybe,
Maybe. Just a bit.
maybe. Um, but there are a lot of like definitions out there, but a good one is like the ability to perceive emotion, integrate emotion, to
Mm.
facilitate thought, and understand emotions and regulate these emotions to promote personal growth. Look at that.
Ba-bam, ba-bam.
So basically, emotional intelligence is being able to recognize emotions that people have feelings
Mm-hmm.
and to use your feelings to make decisions and to like be able to not control but regulate, which is different,
Mm-hmm.
so you can be a better you.
Yes. So, emotional intelligence is not necessarily something that is inherent
Nah,
for a
because there's
lot
some
of
folks out
humans.
there that don't have it.
Like, a lot of times people, will be like, oh, they're psycho. And it's like, well, psychopathy has some basis in
Yeah.
dealing with emotional intelligence. But usually when you're thinking that a person is a psychopath or they're crazy, they're a psycho, whatever, you're really thinking they are a sociopath. And sociopaths really have trouble with emotional intelligence.
Yes.
Typically, sociopaths do not recognize that other people have feelings. They can typically recognize that they have feelings and that their
Hmm.
feelings matter,
But no one else's does.
but no one else's does.
Yeah.
Whereas psychopaths tend to have no emotional responses,
Right.
typically. So there's a little bit of an inverse relationship happening there.
Yeah. Yeah. So like the next time you have a girlfriend or a person who like yells at you and cuss about your shit, they probably have problems with regulating their emotions.
Oh,
They might
absolutely.
be emotionally stunted, like in the
That
sense
one.
that they don't know how to recognize them and think about what they're going to do before they do it.
Right. So one of the big terms that came about over the last like few years has been like toxicity. Like that person is toxic.
Sick.
Yes. And usually that is not necessarily referring to, of course, not referring to them being like radioactive or whatever, but it's talking about their emotional
Radioactive, radioactive.
radioactive.
Sorry.
Their no, their emotional regulatory systems are not actively benefiting themselves or the people around them.
Right.
And that typically leads to some toxicity. So, typically, what you end up with is they don't know how to recognize the emotions of others and
Right.
make them valid, or they can recognize your emotions and understand the validity of that, but they have trouble recognizing their own emotions
Mhm.
and regulating those.
Right.
So
And
everybody's seen like that girl who or heard of that girl who like goes from crying to like all of a sudden she's fine. It's like, babe, like don't leave me to like, I know you're not fucking leaving me. And it's like, where did
uh
that switch happen?
all right, girl.
Right.
I'm not gonna leave you.
It's
Crazy.
crazy. Leave her. Leave her.
Yeah.
Please.
We
She felt
definitely, yeah,
ill.
we all of you don't have to be a woman to be abused, okay?
You do not. You do not.
So,
But
you can
luckily,
leave her.
there are a lot of things, especially since the 80s, that have started trying to recognize emotional intelligence and teach ways to actively like the word I want to use is something like improve. Sure, we're going to go with
Enhance.
enhance. That's a much better term for it. Enhance your ability to recognize your own emotions and the emotions of others and use those to um, improve your behaviors. All right. One of the ways that has been happening is in TV and media. I
Mhm.
love TV in theory. I don't watch it often. I much rather read a book nowadays, but I used to be really big into TV and movies. And so one of the ways they started trying to teach, emotional intelligence was through the after school special,
Yeah.
which came about on, sitcoms, especially in the 80s and the 90s. Like that was the thing where it's like, and today we have an after school special, and it was maybe about, a kid whose parents been to jail
Yeah.
or
Or divorce or like
ex-
eating disorders or like
yeah,
bullying, like
it
all of
was
the.
huge. It was all over the place.
Mhm.
And they were good in in starting the conversation about how do we start helping, especially kids, because that's usually who's watching TV,
Right.
start learning about not only their own emotions, but the emotions of others and how to handle it in positive ways.
Right.
Now, that being said, a lot of these after school specials did not do a great job at it,
Right.
but it was new. They were still learning.
We're still learning. And so something that kind of came on the heels of like that after school special is something that is called social emotional learning.
Hmm.
And so this is where someone was like, wait a minute, we can't just keep thinking that these kids and or adults are just going to get the message from like TV shows.
Right.
And so social emotional learning, or SEL, is where students, typically like elementary school students, they start learning the skills of emotional intelligence. And so
Yes.
it's built into the curriculum, and like kindergartners, they start learning about like it's okay to be sad, or what should you do when you're angry, things like that.
Right. What does it
And
look
so,
like when people are happy? What does it
yeah,
look like when people are confused?
right. And so like it starts you with being able to recognize others' emotions and recognizing your own.
Hmm.
Because emotional intelligence has a couple of like components. And the funny thing about it is you can be really good at some parts and like trash at
Absolute
the
trash at
others.
others. Exactly.
Right. So like they're go ahead.
And what they also started realizing was, because especially after school specials, there was a lot at the same time, there was a lot of understanding going on for things like Asperger's and the autism spectrum,
Mhm.
who have a lot of trouble with certain aspects of emotional intelligence.
Yes.
And this is where they really got to see kind of the dichotomy of people being really good at some parts of emotional intelligence and really bad at other parts of emotional
Right.
intelligence.
Like so like one part that people tend to be okay with is like self-awareness.
Hmm.
Like you could maybe recognize and understand your own moods. But then
Absolutely.
another one is like maybe empathy which is like the ability to understand the emotional makeup of others
It's
and
really hard, especially
and
for
treat
even for
right.
adults, guys.
Right, it's hard, and like learning how to treat people accordingly to their emotions.
Hmm.
Not your emotions, but what they going through. So like people struggle that you might be able to like be say, "Oh, today I've been sad."
Yeah.
But someone else might be sad and you like, "Oh, well, what you sad for?"
A lot of
Oh,
this conversation comes up when people talk about being depressed.
yeah.
Oh, I'm feeling depressed. And it's like, well, why are you depressed? Like, the
You
sun's
have all these
shining, you
good
got all
things.
these things. You ain't got nothing to be depressed about. Just because you don't feel that I have anything to be depressed about does not necessarily mean
First of
that.
all, mind your
And
fucking business.
mind your business. You don't know what's going on over here. But also, if I'm telling you I'm feeling depressed, perhaps come at me a different way.
Right.
Sometimes you got to just let me stay in my depression for a second and work my way through it.
Sometimes. Sometimes.
Sometimes there are techniques we can use to address my depression. That's something for you and your therapist, not for you and your friend
Yes. And also not for you and your mate, but that's a different lesson for another day.
or your parents. Because
Yeah.
honestly, let's be real, most time parents don't know what the fuck to do anyway.
Man, what's that song? Parents just don't understand.
Parents just don't understand. It's the fucking truth. It's not, and it's not to be mean. I know in that song, they're coming from a child's point of view a lot of times. Like, oh, my parents just don't get it. Fuck that. As an adult who is of parenting age, we don't.
I
I don't
don't
I don't know what the fuck is going on with the youths.
know. I
I
don't
don't
get it.
I don't fucking get
I don't understand.
it.
I have to call my nieces and them be like, make it make sense.
Make explain.
Like
I
the
don't know.
like that Billie Eilish girl. I had to talk to my niece like, explain why she got a spider coming out her mouth. I
I
need
don't
to
get it.
understand.
My teacup is loves some 21 Pilots and is also very much interested in like watching Minecraft streaming videos. I don't understand any of those wants and needs,
No, the thing
but
that
I'm
gets
going to
me
support you for it.
right.
Okay.
The thing that gets me kids in these like unboxing videos. Like, so you want to sit here and watch some other
Yes.
kid open toys and play with the toys?
Yes.
I mean,
It doesn't
I
even
could,
have to be in English. Do you understand me?
yeah.
Children will
Like,
just watch it.
I mean, I could get you a toy. You can play with it.
No, I don't
No,
want to play with the toy. I would like to watch someone else play with the toy. I don't understand it. I don't know why you're so fascinated. I've let you watch 7 videos and now you are in a Spanish unboxing video and you have
and
never
how
spoken
do we
Spanish
even
a
get
day
here?
in your life. How do we get here? We don't know.
I mean, I don't get them, man. But
Especially the young ones.
parents, right?
Parents, we don't get it.
Yeah, we
As
don't get it.
again, I hope no children are listening to this. But also, if you are, it's
One,
not
how
okay.
old are you? Get off of this. Don't you have homework?
I'm not saying any of those words. I
I'm
was
saying those
doing
words.
several things I shouldn't have been doing at your age, probably.
I'm a hypocrite. I'm not that auntie. Don't do the
I
foolishness I did.
I am going to tell you that you probably shouldn't do the things that I did. However, I understand that you also probably aren't going to listen to me. So,
Right. But another part of emotional intelligence that I see a lot of people struggle with, and this
mhm,
is not just kids, this is adults. I mean from
amen.
2 to 92, okay?
Shout it to the
Is
rooftops.
this thought of internal motivation.
Yes.
Right. So like the idea of you working towards or doing something not for some outside gain,
Mm-mm.
but like
N- Here's the thing, it's very hard to be intrinsically motivated.
right. We
That's
don't
a
live in that type of
hard thing.
society.
We don't live in that type of society. We live in a capitalist society where if
Yeah,
you work hard, you get the things that you want. That is automatically an extrinsic motivator.
it is. And like now with the kids and people, not even just kids, because I'm not going to put this just on kids,
Mm-mm.
people our age who want to be influencers or social media mavens. Like So now you want these likes
Right.
because likes translate into money
In theory.
in theory.
Correct. You want, and like, we understand we are doing a podcast. We would like people to listen. But again, this ain't necessarily for y'all.
No, we could have had this conversation and not recorded it
Absolutely.
because we frequently do have conversations like this and no one hears them but me, Drea, and whatever deity you subscribe to.
Subscribe to in this moment.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's one of those things where a lot of times, especially nowadays in social media, that is still an extrinsic motivator. You're not over
Mhm.
here making TikToks because you really, really like to dance. No, you're making TikToks for the views, boo. We know it. You know it.
Yeah.
It's the
And
reason
that's
I have
okay.
not talked nor have I ticked. One, I
Well,
don't even understand it.
first of all, that I've watched my nieces do that, and I've watched my older sister, their mom, try
Mhm.
to do that foolishness with them. First of all, it all moves too fast. And I'm like, so you want me to do all of these moves, like the dang renegade challenge?
Yeah.
You know how many moves per
There's
second it is?
several moves. There are so many moves. I'm sweaty looking at you. I'm not doing it.
Right. Like, I need my asthma pump. I can't.
That's what that.
Look, I am old and my
Look,
lungs don't work well, okay?
it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's you are doing it for a certain result. And usually that result is not for the benefit of doing it.
Right. Like, there's no real people out here now. And maybe there never were like people who just go to school just to learn.
Okay. I may have been one of those people at one point.
Eh, But you're not now
Not
because,
anymore.
like,
I go back to school because I want more money.
right, right.
But
So
there was a point in my life where I was like, I would like to just be in school.
now I love to learn. I
Yes.
do.
But you don't have to be in school to learn.
No, you don't.
Stay in school, kids. But
Yes, stay in school. At the very least, you need a diploma, baby.
you do.
Stay in school.
But you know, you don't necessarily have to do that. And there's a lot of different types of learning.
Yes,
Learning how to empathize with others is a type of learning.
it is.
Learning how to improve your own emotional regulation is a type of learning.
Yeah,
It's a very valid type of learning and it's important. You should do
you really,
it.
yeah. Like I'm telling you, learning this will improve relationships, and that's another part of like emotional intelligence, social
Hmm.
skills. It's the ability to manage relationships and build networks and find common ground. We
Right.
need so much of that
Oh,
in
it's
this
those soft
world.
skills we were talking about
Yeah,
before.
yeah,
Soft skills make the world go round.
they do.
Of course, yes, you need to learn how to do certain things. Probably should learn how to read. Probably should learn how to use a
Probably,
phone.
definitely.
How to, use whatever technology is most important to whatever your job is. Those are important things. But learning how to relate to others,
It's very important.
it's huge.
Yeah,
And it can really change the way you're viewed
agreed.
professionally, but also personally.
Yeah, because I promise you, this is like, so if you hear that thing when women are like, men are trash, this is part of it.
Boom, baby.
So when dudes, I'm talking to you now, straight to you, masculine presenting people, masculine
Yeah,
identifying
because you don't
people.
have to have a penis.
No, I'm talking to you. So when you hear blank is trash and you be like, well, not all blank, understand where it's coming from. Because they lack this self awareness, they lack this empathy, they lack these social skills, and they lack the ability to regulate their own emotions.
And I will say, again, this is a learned thing,
Yeah.
right? Just like you have to learn how to regulate your emotions and how to relate to others, you have to learn not to as well.
Yeah.
This is all reinforced. We understand that a lot of times masculine presenting humans are trash because they learned at a very young age, usually, that, oh, boys don't do that.
Yeah.
Men don't do this. Men don't cry. Men
Yeah.
don't talk about their feelings. It's like, oh, but maybe you should.
Yeah.
Not maybe, you
And
definitely
you
should.
definitely should. And you should try to build relationships outside of these intimate relationships too.
Oh, absolutely. The
Yeah.
You should not be the only person who you share your emotions with should not be your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whomever you happen to be
Whoever
dating.
you get naked with, like it needs to be
It needs to
some
be
other
some
people.
other people. You should be sharing your emotions with your friends,
Yeah.
with your family members. Half time, some of these emotion issues, these emotional regulative issues stem from your family. Talk to
Oh,
them about it.
so many.
Talk to your therapist. Talk to your pastor. Whomever you trust with your emotions. Speak to them about it.
You need to have a network.
You should have a network because a lot of times, especially when people fly off the handle, sometimes it's talking about masculine presenting people
Yeah.
fly off the handle. It's because that person has gotten sick of your shit and tired of being the main person you come to and the only person you come to.
Right. And that's not where you want to be.
That's not where you want to be. You shouldn't only depend on that one person.
Right. Because what happens if y'all break up? Or what happens if you know you be with this person long term and they die? It happens.
It does very much happen.
Yeah.
You need to
That's
learn how
why
to share yourself with other people
yeah. That's why the
and
research
understand what
indicates.
other people's emotions as well.
Yeah. And like that's why the research indicates that men, masculine presenting people, they typically don't last long after their like significant other dies.
Absolutely.
And if they do last, typically they have remarried or gotten with
Exactly.
another person.
Exactly. Oh, 100%. I 100% agree. I'll say
Yeah.
I love my grandpa, but part of the reason he's still alive today is because he remarried less than a year after my grandmother passed.
Yeah.
He got right back into a relationship.
Yeah. Now, my granddaddy, when my grandma died, he was just honoring. He just was not gonna die.
Just a crotchety old man.
He was. I love my granddad and my one-legged granddaddy because he was
Oh,
one-legged.
no.
He was. It was his fault. I told that story one time. Um, but but also I think one thing that kept him around was his grandchildren.
Hmm.
So he had built more of a network than a lot of masculine presenting people. And he had
It
like
changes
that
things.
one friend that he knew, like that he still kept up with. So he had one person outside of family,
I
but it was
mean,
enough.
but it was enough to keep him going
Yeah.
till whatever end he may have met. I don't know. Is he still alive?
Oh no, all my grandparents are dead.
All my friends are dead.
Push
I'm sorry. All of
me
mine,
to
but
the
my
edge.
grandfather. Keep holding on. Grandpa, you know, they
Yeah,
have
hold
they're
on.
they're gone.
Hold on.
To your
Your
life.
love.
I would like you to stay alive. But
Stay alive.
thank you. Thank you. We don't have the rights to any of this music. Anyway,
No, we don't. We don't. Please don't sue us.
please don't sue
All
us.
I all I got is $40.
I got $1. That's all I got.
I got
But
$40 in student loans.
luckily, I will say, especially for people growing up right now, you're in a better place to understand your emotional um, kind of regulatory systems and relate to the feelings of others
Mhm.
than probably people of my generation are, definitely than people of my parents' generation.
Uh-huh.
you're automatically in a better place because there are all these things put into the school system, put into your media, put into, the things you interact with on a daily basis for the most part
Right.
that are meant to help you better understand your own emotional intelligence.
Yeah, but even for those people not growing up in this generation, hope is not lost
Nope.
because you can Google this stuff as long as
Google it.
they don't shut them down.
I mean, we
That
did
you
talk
can
about that.
you can Google these things. Like
Or
they're
Bing it if that's what you're into.
yeah, if you're Bing it or if you're doesn't Safari have like some type of search option or is it
Yeah,
Google?
it's Jujel.
Ah,
It's
okay. So
Jujel.
whatever search engine you prefer,
Right?
you can find these things. There are like social emotional learning videos out here. There's like
Right.
whole
YouTube it.
curriculums. Yeah.
There's whole things dedicated on YouTube to helping you. And then there's wonderful shows that give you kind of some stark visuals of what it's like to not have those emotional regulation,
Mhm.
pieces, or to see someone work through some of these emotional regulation paths. I Michelle knows I'm a big
Mhm.
fan of Steven Universe.
Yes.
May she rest in peace. I don't know why she's a television, why it's a
Why
she.
why
It
is
feels right.
Steven I feel like no, I feel like you should be gender inclusive. I feel like they are they.
They, them, that does make
Yes.
sense. They, them, they are super great at showing you how people have to work through some really deep emotional things.
Yeah.
Pearl has to work through some shit. Amethyst has to work through understanding themselves and understanding how she came about in a time of war and
And it
also
was
being
not
okay
great.
with her imperfections.
Yeah.
You see Garnet become who they are. You see Steven in the end working through some deep shit, some
I
deep
mean,
seated trauma.
yeah.
Like, oh man, I feel sorry for that kid. But
The truth is,
the truth is,
there's help out there.
there's help out there. I mean, and there's also shows like, Atypical, which show you a day in the life of someone who does not have these emotional regulation pathways, or Love on a Spectrum, which shows you people who are trying to create relationships with others when they have some larger impediments to their emotional intelligence.
Yep.
But I mean, you also look at things like Mad Men. You can see this in evidence of things like Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
There's tons of media out there that is actively working to show you ways to improve your emotional intelligence.
100%.
You just have to go out and find it.
Yeah.
And
I
it's something
agree.
you actively have to work on because let me tell you, there are some days where I will feel, let me talk about myself. I will feel like I got nothing. I've
I
got nothing
statements.
to give to others. I don't give a about. I don't know why I censored myself, but whatever, about your
Yeah.
emotions and how you feel because I feel a certain way today and fuck what you heard. But, there can't be more of those days than, the reverse of that.
Right.
That can't be my everyday.
That's not how you be like that's how you become a person in the world who is just cancerous,
Hmm.
right? That's not helpful and if we're going to get through anything like 2020 has given us so far, we have to be able to be empathetic to others.
Absolutely.
We have to be able to be knowledgeable.
Right. I've done several presentations this week. This week has been a week for me. And a lot of those presentations have focused on, you know, what it's like living in the time of COVID and trying to better yourself, whether it be for, you want to go back to school or you're going to college or whatever in the time of COVID. And one of the big things I always say at the end of the presentation is understand that you are dealing with humans.
Yeah.
And because you are dealing with humans, they have a lot on their plate. They have also all been experiencing the same kind of year as you.
Yeah. You're not living in a vacuum.
You're not living in a vacuum. They are not living in a vacuum. So they are taking, one of the big things I keep hearing is like, well, I didn't get to do anything over the summer. Should I tell them about that? They know.
I mean, but you can point it out if you
You
like, I guess.
Here's the thing. They already know you haven't done anything over the summer cuz nobody did anything over the summer. The world was closed.
Yes.
Everything got closed. If you're going to say it, make it unique. Maybe you didn't do anything over the summer, but as a result, you had to take on more responsibility with your family. How did that work? You didn't do anything over the summer, and that led you to
Right.
starting a podcast or, becoming more active on social media in this way, volunteering in something else.
Right.
Make it unique. But just saying that you didn't get to do anything over the summer because COVID happened, remember you're dealing with humans, not computers. They also didn't do shit over this summer, and they know why.
Right.
So
Right.
you have to understand that, in everything you do, not just in that instance, but like in everything you do, you're always dealing with humans and they are dealing with shit just like you,
Yep. Always.
always,
And
for the most part.
like
Even when you're dealing with AI, they're
apparently,
going through shit.
apparently learning how
They've got
to
updates and glitches to work through.
and bugs.
Right. They got to
Yeah.
defrag. I'm pretty sure a tech term.
It is a tech term, but I don't think it's about AIs.
I don't think so either. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell Google.
Don't tell
Please.
Google.
Don't
Pretty
tell
sure
Google.
pretty sure Google knows already.
I don't think they do. Um,
I feel like they know. I feel like Google knows a lot of things. Um,
Jill it. Um,
I was done when I realized you could Google what's that song that goes da 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 da, and they'll actually
oh,
bring up songs.
I've done it. I once Googled, I said, what's that song that goes, da, 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 da? And they told me it was Love's Theme by Marvin Gaye
Yeah,
and the Love Oaks. It ain't got no words to it, but they knew what it was.
that's
Took me a
ridiculous.
couple times, but they found it.
I mean, it's great, but that's ridiculous. But yeah,
She's smart.
Google is a woman and she's smart.
I only say that because she has a female presenting voice. She might not be.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know. Maybe she's like Janet from The Good Place. Not a girl.
Not a girl.
Not a girl.
I finally that is another show. Like we're talking about emotional
It's
intelligence.
great.
That is another show that teaches you because all of these people, not gonna ruin it for you, but like all of these celestial beings and like people, they're just learning how to be better at peopling.
Yes, absolutely.
Even
They're going
Janet,
through and learning how to be better at the human experience, one
yeah,
Jeremy Bearimy at a time. Okay?
yeah, and one Jeremy Bearimy.
One Bearimy at
Y-
a time. They're just
You
hoping for
only
the
know what
best.
that is if you watch the show.
Go watch it.
So now you're a part of a cool club and the other people can't sit with us. But please come back.
You can sit with us. It's fine.
It's just an inside joke that's gonna make you feel a little awkward.
I was never that kid who was like, you can't sit with me.
I was never that kid either. I was never that kid.
I was the kid that if you came over to my table and took a chair, I'm glaring you down.
Yeah, and I was never that kid, but in college one time I had that experience where me and a friend we were not on good speaking terms, and the rest of the group, I guess they decided that I was wrong and she was right, so
Oh,
they weren't hanging. Yeah, they weren't hanging with me, and I saw two of them. I'll never forget this. Some things like stick with you.
they
I
stick
saw two
hard.
of them in the cafeteria and I had food and they were getting ready to sit down and then I was going to sit with them. They were like, "Oh, well, blank is on her way." So basically, you can't sit with us because blank is on her way. I'll never forget that.
I Here's the thing. It's amazing what sticks with you, but probably never stuck with them. But if
Yeah.
you ever hear this one day, you people who did that to my friend Michelle, recognize your wrongness in that moment and strive to be better humans at it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've seen them since. Like,
Punch
we
them. Don't punch them.
no, I've seen them since, saw them at her wedding. Like, we sometimes communicate, but like things will never be the same. So like
No.
that's that emotional intelligence at work again because they didn't have the empathy to think, oh,
How horrible
Michelle,
would it be to tell the
right,
Michelle that she can't sit here? But also, they did not have the emotional empathy to say, well, maybe what's between them needs to be between them.
right, right. But it's okay. I talked to my
Again,
therapist
though,
about it.
I'm glad you talked to your therapist about it. But again, though, it's easy to recognize when things have happened to us and less easy to when we have done things to other people.
Right,
And, in the end, remember to give yourself grace.
always.
There will be times you don't get this whole emotional intelligence things right. I know for me, especially with my family, I don't get emotional intelligence right a solid 68% of the time. I
Good
don't get it
Lord.
right. I don't have, and it's very usually very honestly, it's not usually the inability to empathize with them. It's the inability to regulate my own emotions
Yeah,
with them.
yeah. I'm there sometimes too. Family can push those buttons.
Right. But a lot, again, remember there's a lot of history with family, and a lot of times, it can bring up emotions and things that you thought you were over.
Or things you didn't even know you had an issue with.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, you sound like a pageant mom.
Absolutely. Little Jimmy Sue. You know what? I think that we should be wearing the cupcake dress. In fact, let's change. Let's change. Sorry.
Toddlers and tiaras, anyone?
I'm coming back. I'm coming back. But yeah, give yourself grace. It's
Mhm.
not going to work out 100% of the time, but if you can learn from it, strive to become, it used to be a solid 80% for me. And now we're
So
down to 68.
progress,
This is
progress.
progress.
Yeah, like
And now that I've started learning how to say in my mind that these people are 3 years old, it's getting even better.
right, right. And you just they just don't have the like people will say, oh, you don't have the range. They just don't have that emotional range
They just
yet.
don't have it yet. And and the thing to remember, especially when you think about, maybe your parents or, maybe that boss that you're just like, what the, is some people never will.
Yeah,
Some people are not going to do the work that you're going to do.
yeah,
And you got to learn how to be okay with that.
you do. And at the end of the day, the only thing that you can control is yourself and how you react to things.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
Anyway. All right, we've talked your guys' ear off today.
We have, man. Thank you for like staying through all of this. And if you didn't
Yeah.
stay, you don't know it's because you're mad about Jeremy Bury Me. And
Mhm.
it's not my fault
It's
that
not my fault
you
that you haven't gone through enough Jeremy Bearimy to learn your lessons.
right. I mean, context clues, you should figure out what a Jeremy
Right.
Bury Me is. But that's not today's lesson.
If you haven't, Google it. Um, Google it. Sorry. I really need to stop stealing Maya Rudolph's lines from Big Mouth. But that's also
She's
a great show.
it
It's a great
is.
show. And they do talk about a lot of different types of emotional intelligence. They don't
Mhm.
always get it right, but
No.
it's usually hilarious.
Yes. Yes. So, thanks for listening, you guys. I hope
Right?
I hope you learned something
Subscribe,
today.
I
Yeah,
guess,
subscribe,
if you can.
like, comment,
Like and
whatever.
comment. We want to hear what you got to say about it.
Yeah.
Please don't comment on my movie making skills. I'm still learning.
I'm not commenting on her movie making skills because I have none. So you got to
I'm
know your
doing
role and play your
my
position.
best.
She's doing so great, y'all.
Sorry.
Matter of fact, round of applause.
All right, we're done. Stop it.
Yeah, we're done. You got some positive feedback there.
Ugh. All right. Anyway, thanks for listening to us.
Yeah,
I'm Drea.
yeah, you're Drea. I'm Michelle. I'm glad you came to listen to this not TED Talk. TED Talk.
No, it's not a TED Talk, but
It's not.
thank
It's
you for
not.
listening to our conversation into the ether.
Diatribe.
Diatribe. I like that word for it.
I know you do.
All right, I'm gonna get off this high horse and go find food. I've only eaten
Food.
berries
Food's a
today.
great. Yeah, food's a
And a
great
hot
idea.
dog.
That just reminded me of that commercial. Can I get a hot tub?
Can
You
I get a
remember?
hot dog? Absolutely.
Okay, you guys go do something great with your lives today.
Or
Go tell
don't
some.
let us tell you
I
what to
mean,
do.
do what you like. Tell someone about emotional intelligence. Google it some more. Go
Yeah.
vote.
Go
Tell some
vote.
other. Tell some other people to vote.
Absolutely. If you've already voted, tell your friends to vote as well.
And also
Again,
remember that your ballot is secret and you don't have to tell anyone
you
who
don't
you voted for.
you really don't. I don't know how many times I need to tell this to people. You do not need to disclose who you are voting for to anyone. It is not a requirement. There's a secret ballot for a reason.
Yep.
Okay? It's fine. We
But if
I
you
don't need to know.
right.
No one else does either if you don't
But
want to tell.
yeah. But if you're Catholic and you feel guilty about it, go confess.
Right. Tell your priest. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I don't care. I just
Yeah.
care that you voted.
Yep.
Again, they would not be trying to take your vote so hard if it did matter.
Yep. What she said.
Just saying. All right,
Yeah.
y'all.
Bye.
Bye.